All right, folks, it's officially week 14 in the National Football League, so we got 3 more weeks of professional football to go through before it's playoff time. And we got some very important games on the line this week. Perhaps none as important as the game we got Thursday night when my Oakland Raiders take on the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Both these teams coming off some pretty big wins. Kansas City beat Atlanta on that pick two to Eric Berry, and the Raiders came back from a 24-9 deficit to beat the Bills 38-24. And the Raiders, they're like what, a 6-game winning streak now, and the Chiefs, they're doing pretty well. So yeah, basically whoever wins this game is going to be in pole position in the AFC West, probably until the end of the season. So yeah, everything is on the line. This could determine not just who wins the AFC West, but who gets the first round bye in the playoffs. So it's a huge game. Right now, Kansas City is sitting as a 3.5-point favorite. The over/under is 46. Now, here's the thing about picking these games. You're naturally inclined to want to be a homer. I love the Raiders; they're my team, so I've picked them all the time. In fact, I've only gone against them once so far in this season, and what do you know? I made the right pick because it's a game they lost, and that game was against Kansas City. It was the worst loss the Raiders had all year. Really, the only game that weren't competitive at all. So with this matchup, it's a short week. Raiders played Sunday. Well, it's a short week for Kansas City too. I don't know what I'm saying there. So they kind of evened the playing field a little bit. Kansas City, it's going to be like 20 degrees. It's a hard place to play in as is. So I'm very concerned about that. We haven't looked at the injury line yet, but most people appear to be healthy. Doesn't like Aldon Smith will get start. Mario Edwards might be playing for the Raiders. We'll see what kind of impact he has. Probably negligible. So knowing what we know, just looking at how these teams won on Sunday, the momentum they bring into this game, the overall environmental conditions. I hate to say it. I hate it with all my heart, but I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win this one. Now, I don't think it's going to be as big of a win as they did earlier in the season. I think it's going to be very competitive. Should be a nail biter. I think the final score will be something like, Chiefs 23, Raiders 20. So I'll spot the Chiefs winning this one by a field goal. But I don't know. I just think, the Raiders have some big deficiency stopping the run, and that's a huge point of attack for the Chiefs. Alex Smith is super consistent. He's not hitting home run shots every game, but he is, getting 21 out of 25 passes in these games. Good receiving core, a very good defense that will eat you alive on the long ball, which has been the Raiders' biggest point of strength. And I don't think the Raiders' run game can really compare to the Chiefs' run game at this point. So all that considered, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I lose hypothetical money on this one. I hope the Raiders do win. But if I'm out there putting money on the line trying to buy a Christmas present for my kids that I don't have actually, I'm going to go with the Chiefs to win by 3. And I feel very sick having to say that, but we're professional. We can't let homerism ruin our jobs. All right, and the rest of the lineup, we got Pittsburgh at Buffalo on Sunday afternoon. Over-under is 47. Looks like Pittsburgh's a 1.5-point favorite. I think it'll be close. I'll give it to Pittsburgh by 6, and I'll keep the over-under definitely under 47. Denver at Tennessee. Tennessee, believe it or not, they're a 1-point favorite in this game. Over-under is 43.5. I'm going to say go above that, and I'll give it to Denver by 7. I don't think Tennessee's really there yet, so that should be a pretty easy win for them. Washington and Philadelphia. I'm looking, most of the lines here say it's even. I'm seeing one that has Washington as a 1-point favorite. Over-under is 46.5. This is really a toss-up. I think it's going to be under 46.5. You might as well just flip a coin to decide this one because Washington's kind of in free fall. Philadelphia's already fallen off the cliff. One more loss and they're definitely out of playoff contention. So I'm going to go with Philadelphia by 6. Just call it a hunch, just run with it. Just a feeling you have. Arizona at Miami. Miami needs a win here. Bad to stay in playoff contention. Arizona's already eliminated, so they're playing spoiler. And they did pretty well, Arizona did against the Redskins. I think they will carry that momentum over. Looks like Miami's a 1-point favorite. I think Arizona wins by 7. Over-under is 43.5. I want to say it's going to be over. San Diego at Carolina. Carolina's a 1-point favorite. Over is 48.5. Give it to the Chargers by 7. I think the over-under will be above 48.5. Cincinnati at Cleveland. This could be my pick of the week. Looks like Cincinnati, they had that really big victory over Philadelphia. It looks like they're a 6-point favorite for this game. Over is 43. I'm going to say keep it under, but you know what? If you're in Cleveland, time to break out the champagne or the apple juice or, the rotten eggnog, whatever you got. You're finally going to get a win. I think everything is lined up. You've lost 12 games in a row. You're not going to go 0-16. You got to win something eventually. I think it's a trap game for the Bengals, who already have nothing to play for. So I think Cleveland goes in there and they win by 3 points. So there's that one. Chicago at Detroit. Chicago actually playing pretty well. They beat the crap out of the 49ers in the snow. Playing in Detroit. Detroit's 8-point favorite. Over under is 43.5. I'm going to say keep it under. And you know what? I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go Chicago to win by a touchdown. Just got that feeling. It happens. They got a really, really, really good running back down there with Jordan Howard. So I think he's going to get a lot of rushes and make the NFC Central race even more interesting. Houston at Indianapolis. This game, pretty much like the Kansas City-Oakland game. Whoever wins this one will probably win the division. Indianapolis is a 6-point favorite. The Texans did pretty well against Green Bay, but they've been free-falling as of late. Over-under is 47. I'm going to go with the line. I'm going to pick Indianapolis to win by 6, and they'll regain control of the AFC South. And I think they'll pretty much ride it out and finish 9-7 and win the division. Houston will fall to 8-8. So that's my moving forward prediction on that one. But yeah, Indianapolis wins. Vikings at Jacksonville. Jacksonville's like 2-10 now, or 3-9, 2-10 I believe. Over-under is 39. There's not going to be a lot of points scored in this one at all. I think it's going to be under that. Minnesota's a 3.5-point favorite. You know what? I'm going to pull another upset here. I think Jacksonville wins this one. I think they go in there and they win by a field goal. You got a vibe because the Vikings are coming off that loss to the Cowboys. Jacksonville did way better against them than I thought they would. And it's in Jacksonville. So all those factors lead me to go for the Jaguars. All right, the Jets at San Francisco in another horrid game that they're going to make people watch the torture device in 20 years. San Francisco, the 2.5-point favorite. The over-under is 44.5. Even with the Jets, who do they even have playing quarterback now? Like, is it Vinny Testaverde? They wheel him out of the retirement home to come play games now? Yeah, even as bad as the Jets are, they can beat the 49ers. They can beat, Blaine Gabbert and Colin America Hater. So I'm going to give it the Jets by 3. Over is 44.5. Definitely keep it under. Should be a horrible, horrible game to watch. New Orleans at Tampa Bay. Very, very important game, believe it or not, because Tampa Bay is 7-5, tied with Atlanta. Atlanta owns a tiebreaker, though, because of the one win earlier in the season. New Orleans still hanging in there. They're fighting for a playoff spot. They got to run the table. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay to win this one. The line has them at 2.5. I'll give it to them by 6. Over-under is 51.5. I'll say keep it under. I don't think Saints are going to be scoring as many points as they have been throughout the season. Atlanta at Los Angeles. Atlanta's a 6-point favorite. Rams, obviously 6-point dog. Over is 45. I'm going to keep it under 45, and I think the Falcons should win this one pretty easily. I'll actually do them one better. I think they win it by at least 10 points. But then again, strange things are happening, in the Coliseum. Because, for whatever reason, there are not a lot of points being scored. It's like you even have Seattle going down there and scoring like 9 points a game. So, it could be a final score of like 16-6. Don't be surprised, but I got Atlanta winning by double digits. Should be a pretty easy lock there. Seattle at Green Bay. I'm going to go with Green Bay to get the upset here. They're a 3-point dog. I'll give it to them by 6. Over-under is 46. I think it's going to be slightly under. We got Dallas at the Giants. Dallas a 3-point favorite. Over-under is 47.5. I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with the Giants to win this one. Because, it's a Sunday night game. The Giants fighting their playoff lives. I think the Cowboys now are kind of starting to take their foot off the gas. They already got a playoff spot locked up. And I don't know. I just think they dropped this one by a field goal. And lastly, on Monday night, Baltimore and New England. Another surprisingly good matchup we got here. Lots of good matchups going on this week, actually. Leader of the NFC East taking on the leader of the the AFC East taking on the winner of the AFC Central. New England is a 7-point favorite, but they don't have Gronk. Remember that. 45 over-under. Baltimore just crushed the Dolphins over the weekend. I got another upset. I am calling it. I'm going to go with Baltimore to win by 7. And the over is going to be under 45. So that's it. Some pretty big upsets this week. I'm just going across here in a lot of good games. It's going to be huge playoff implications. Do not take your eyes off the TV set this weekend. Every game, literally every game on the docket has some sort of playoff implications, except for maybe the Cincinnati-Cleveland game, but I was going to watch that anyway. Or the San Diego-Carolina, or especially the San Francisco-New York Jets game. Okay, so there are some crappy games that don't matter, but most of them do. Stay tuned. Things are getting very, very interesting in the National Football League.